Imagine God asks you to sacrifice your only child, the child you waited 25 years for. That's exactly what happens in Genesis 22. Abraham loads the wood, takes his son Isaac, and walks 3 days in silence. What was he thinking? Did he cry? Did he doubt? Let's read this shocking chapter together. Then I will give you one truth you can use today. Quick context: Abraham is 100 plus years old. Isaac is the promised son, the one God said would continue his family line. And now God says, take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and sacrifice him. Let's read. Genesis 22, verse 1. Sometime later God tested Abraham. He said to him, Abraham. Here I am, he replied. Verse 2. Then God said, take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you. Verse 3. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and loaded his donkey. He took with him 2 of his servants and his son Isaac. When he had cut enough wood for the burnt offering, he set out for the place God had told him about. Verse 4. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. Verse 5. He said to his servants, stay here with the donkey, while I and the boy go over there. We will worship, and there we will come back to you. Verse 6. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac, and he himself carried the fire and the knife, as the 2 of them went on together. Verse 7. Isaac spoke up and said to his father Abraham, Father. Yes, my son, Abraham replied. The fire and wood are here. Isaac said, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Verse 8. Abraham answered, God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. And the 2 of them went on together. Verse 9. When they reached the place God had told them about, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Verse 10. Then he reached out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. Verse 11. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, Abraham, Abraham. Here I am, he replied. Verse 12. Do not lay a hand on the boy, he said. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son. Verse 13. Abraham looked up, and there in a thicket he saw a ram caught by its horns. He went over and took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. Verse 14. So Abraham called that place, the Lord will provide. And to this day it is said, on the mountain of the Lord it will be provided. Verse 15. The angel of the Lord called to Abraham from heaven a second time. Verse 16. And said, I swear by myself, declares the Lord, that because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, verse 17, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies. Verse 18. And through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed me. Verse 19. Then Abraham returned to his servants, and they set off together for Beersheba. and Abraham stayed in Beersheba. Verse 20. Sometime later, Abraham was told, Milcah is also a mother. She has borne sons to your brother Nahor. Verse 21. Uz, the firstborn, Boaz, his brother, Kemuel, the father of Aram. Verse 22. Kesed, Hazo, Pildash, Jidlaph, and Bethuel. Verse 23. Bethuel became the father of Rebekah. Milcah bore these 8 sons to Abraham's brother Nahor. Verse 24. His concubine, whose name was Reumah, also had sons, Teba, Gaham, Tahash, and Makkah. Here's the one truth from Genesis 22. Abraham didn't know God would provide a ram. He walked 3 days believing he might actually lose Isaac, but he told the servants, "We will worship and we will return." Abraham believed God could raise Isaac from the dead. That's faith. Obeying before you see the ram. What's your Isaac? The thing God is asking you to trust Him with. Maybe it's a relationship, a dream, a comfort zone. You don't have to understand, you just have to take the first step up the mountain. God, give us Abraham's kind of faith. Not faith that understands everything, but faith that takes away the next step anyway. Show us the ram in our own stories. Amen. Thanks for reading the Bible with me. Subscribe for one chapter, one truth.